So when I get into really testing something or doing something very frequently, there's obviously a very strong reason behind it. So, so let me just say, it all started a while back when something crossed my screen. And you know how it is when you're on the internet, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're researching, or you're, I don't know, clicking or whatever, stuff crosses your screen, right? So this was random, and I don't remember why it crossed my screen, but it was a network for paid opportunities with big brands that paid really well for Instagram users, but it only allowed people into their network. It's like to get into the little club or even to sign up, you had to have at least 10,000 Instagram followers. I was like, right. Good grief, you know, yeah. That's but I saw some of the deals that were being made in there. So I had 342 followers on Instagram.
I don't have much more than that right now.
Well, good. So this will be very relevant to you. So I'm looking at this and it seems like way out of my reach. I'm like, I'm good at 342 followers, but I'm good at what I'm doing, you know, this, but you can't get in the door without 10,000 followers. That's the day I set a goal to get 10,000 followers on Instagram. You know, it was plain and simple. It was money driven. So I had a very strong objective. I wanted in the club. You want to know what's funny is I now have over 80,000 Instagram followers, and I don't even know where that page or link is, which is funny. I have it saved somewhere. But anyway, that's the day I said, I'm going to get 10,000 followers. I had 342. And what I ultimately have coined or called the 10-10-10 strategy, I used that to get 10,000 followers in less than 10 months, in about 9 months actually. So it's super easy to do, using this 10-10-10 strategy in about 10 minutes a day to get 10,000 followers in about 10 months. It's super easy, and I'll explain how to do that. And I was just very driven, but not to the point that I became consumed with it or neglected my other work or made it my be all end all, but literally that I did it in less than 10 minutes a day. Because at the time that I made this goal or had this objective, I didn't have a lot of extra time, and I still didn't really like Instagram. I just wanted to get in the door with this, you know, the big money makers. And so that's the day I set the goal. That's where this all started. So I started out with 342 followers, and this was in late March. And my goal was to get 10,000 before the end of the year. I was about 10 days late. So it was like the end of the first week or first to the second week of January that I hit 10,000 followers. So anyway, I'm using the wrong mouse. So that's where it all started. And I will say another thing that really got my attention, because again, engagement doesn't pay the bills, right? Well, unless, I was gonna make a funny joke, but we better drop that one. Anyway, engagement doesn't pay the bills. And I am all about objectives that increase my reach and revenue, period. That is the bottom line. Those are the two things I'm focused on all the time.
Yeah.
I would every morning and I'm like, reach and revenue. What is the number one thing I can do first thing today to increase my reach and revenue? So I start every single day with a money task. I'm constantly working toward those goals. Nothing else matters. My blog theme sucks. I need to update my profile picture. None of that stuff matters. Tweaking this, tweaking that. What plugins do I have? Blah, blah, blah. None of that matters. Reach and revenue. That's my focus.
Right. Yeah, so I know. I remember like in early days, you would always like log into your stats and see how much traffic. I don't even know how much traffic my website gets. I don't care, right? They just want to know how much money I'm making.
I have a general idea of that more so now than I've had in years. And the only reason is because I have a media kit that updates itself. And I use it a lot. So anyway, one of my members in my private brainstorming group, they turned me on to this thing. This was my second big inspiration. Okay. And you're going to want to check this out. Can I type, this says to all panelists, can I type in all panelists and attendees? Can I share a link?
No, I'll do it on you got to do it on Facebook because it won't go to Facebook. We're in the
okay.
app.
All right. So you can add it if you like. So turned me on to this. It's socialbluebook.com. So www.socialbluebook.com. So all you got to do is you go in, you log in, you create an account, and you set up your social media profiles, and it tells you what you're worth. So yes, Yes. And so
Is it like clout, is it?
no, this is like clout in your bank account.
Okay.
I'm going to explain how this changed everything for me, because it's the numbers that get me inspired. And it doesn't matter if it's like percent of growth. It doesn't matter if it's a conversion rate, click-through rate. I love numbers. Well, that's what we're talking about here. So anyway, I got turned on to socialbluebook.com, and it gives you suggested rates only. But the most interesting thing to me is the value of an Instagram post compared to the value of a post on any other social platform. So right now, just to give you some real numbers, because we like those, because that's what it's about. So on my blog, which is at travelinglowcarb.com, and it's very interactive. I have a very engaged audience, gets a good amount of traffic, etc. So anyway, right now, a dedicated blog post, if I wrote it for you, Alice, if you said, I want you to write all about my blue shirt, and I said, okay, yes, I love your shirt, really. So she's still not going to tell me where it came from. Anyway, so
I don't want anyone else to have it.
Right now, a dedicated post with 3 photos included on my blog is worth anywhere from $550 to $790. So according to Social Bluebook,
right?
According, and that's a suggested rate only, not including creatives, time spent, whatever. So on my Facebook page, a photo that I post of Alice in her shirt for her that she pays me to do is worth $30. A video, $60. This according to Social Bluebook. Instagram, the value of one photo, $550. Wow. All right. So okay, I have twice as many followers on Instagram as I have on Facebook. Right? So there's that. I have double the audience. It's not double the money though. We're talking about the difference between $30 for a photo or $550 for a photo.
Yeah.
So there's a huge gap there in what Social Bluebook considers the value, which is saying Instagram has a higher value for advertising. This is not just relevant to, what shirt you're wearing or brands or sponsors or whatever, and we'll get into that. But a single video on my Instagram account is worth over $1,000 to an advertiser. And honestly, Social Bluebook, for some reason, is not connected to my Instagram account and hasn't updated my value since more than 10,000 followers ago.
Oh, okay.
So the numbers I'm giving you are outdated. And let me just tell you, if you go to Social Bluebook, you sign up, you plug in your profiles. That's what Alice looks like she's doing right now. I want to tell you my engagement grade. What would you think it is? Like if you were grading me like on a report card. I'm pretty engaging, don't you think?
I think so. I don't know what grade to give.
My engagement grade is a C+.
Ow.
I know, that seems
low. Yeah, because I look at some and I see, because you have 80,000 and I look at how many likes and things you get, and you see others that have, and comments and stuff. You see others with smaller followings and much more engaged audience. So, but you're doing all right.
I'm doing all right. And there's a trick to that. There's a trick if you have somebody that you want to pitch or you want to work with and you want to boost that engagement grade, there's easy ways to do that. The easiest way is to ask questions. And I'm bad about not doing that. I'm bad about just posting, hey, here's what I'm doing, here's where I'm at, here's why it's cool or whatever. Or here's what I'm eating and here's all the information about it. Instead of, hey, how are you today? So there's engagement is like for real, like it is what it is. It's engaging with people and responding to people. So I only have a C+ engagement grade, and they haven't updated my stats in over 10,000 new followers. And a single photo is worth over $500 for me to post on Instagram. A single video is worth over $1,000 for me to post on Instagram. However, let me just say, it's not all about working with sponsors or advertisers or working with those big brands or in those brand networks or whatever, which is good money, mind you. And it's not money you want to leave on the table, but I'm not turning it down.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Social Bluebook, going back to that, is a really good base for you to start when you're going to pitch a company or when you're going to create a media kit and you want to come up with the values of the packages you're going to put together for those advertisers. So that's a good resource. Anyway, it's not really all about working with brands and advertisers and sponsors or making pitches or answering pitches. What it's about is realizing the value of Instagram and the difference between the value of Instagram and the value of Facebook and Twitter and YouTube even, and all of the other things that you'll see listed there in Social Bluebook or all of the social networks. You know, the value they place on Instagram is very high. So what does that mean? The value of Instagram is a whole lot higher for your own products and services and promotions.
Right, right.
Yes.
This is what a lot of our people watching are going to be, right?
Yeah. So I've been having so much fun playing with all of this, like testing and tweaking and figuring it out on my own. The only place that I've really been sharing my results on this as I go is inside my private brainstorming group. I haven't been talking about it publicly or putting out any training or anything like this. So this is kind of a first time outside of my private group that I've been sharing some of this stuff. And it's so simple and it's so easy.